So, you know, there's going to be two intros in this because I already actually recorded the more important part of the rant, and I guess this is just like a disclaimer or something. See, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what a disclaimer means, but I feel like somewhere in the back of my head I've heard people say that so many times in their own defense or whatever, or they say that trying to like protect themselves or something, that, you know, it's like the thing you say before you say some real shit that you think, and it's a way to kind of cover your ass. But it's really not, because the thing is, if you really say what you're thinking, regardless how it's received depends on what the consequences are. You can put as many disclaimers as you want in your video, but I don't think that really matters. What matters is how some person or people are going to view something you said or whatever, and what people feel is going to be the extent of how they're going to punish you. So I say a lot of things that people don't agree with. I say a lot of things that may shock some people, but I'm just saying things that are just my opinion. So, you know, it's just my opinion. You have to remember that. Do I believe it's true? Of course. Is it your job to find out whether something's true or not? Yeah. That's everyone's job. That's your job. But, I I just wanted to say that. And like, okay, so this is not really what this video is about, but I thought I'd talk about this because it's been an idea in my head, right? And I was just thinking, it was kind of funny, okay? Because I had this weird thought, and I was thinking about how, like, man, um, you know what? Actually, scratch that. I'm not, I'm not even going to speak on that because I changed my mind. Because what I was about to say was, I don't even know how if people could really understand what I was just about to say. So, actually, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know. I don't think people will really be able to understand what I'm saying without thinking the wrong thing and twisting it up and then turning it into like what something else, and then you're just gonna miss the point anyway. So what I am going to talk about though in this rant is, I'm going to make it clear that, first off, I'm not a self-hating black person. Second off, I don't hate white people. I'm not a racist either. Do I hate competing with a white person on any level? Yes. Would I hate that person for having to compete with them, for a woman, for a job, for anything? Of course, I'd want to rip their head off. But would I feel the same way of another black person? Of course. Because if you're in my way, you're in my way. You know? So, yes, it's just that simple. So, what I really wanted to rant about, though, in this rant is, for my belief system is me being a Satanist in what you could call, I don't know what you'd call it really. You could call, I guess you could call it a Satanist. You could call me an occult person, whatever you want to call it. But how there is a competition for us at times to persuade people of what we believe is true, opposed to what Christians say is true. And then one thing that annoys me is when, like, some people take Christianity and they think it's like this happy, pretty thing. And what I think about it is like this: Satanism and other forms of spirituality is not creepy. If you think it's creepy, that's fine. You know, some people say, "Oh, I don't like scary movies." Oh, okay, that's cool. Real spirituality that's dark is not necessarily like a scary movie, because Hollywood is full of bullshit. But I'll tell you this, what's really creepy is Christianity. And maybe you don't believe this, but I know if you live long enough and you have enough experiences, enough good experiences from the right place, you'll realize that if anything is creepy and retarded, it is Christianity. And it's ass backwards. So, you know, I'm just gonna let this Mugen video play, and there's gonna be gameplay on this vid, but there will be a part where I rant about what I'm ranting about, so, yeah. So, this is your host. This is your host, Steve from the back. So, you know, I obviously I try to do positive rants sometimes. But I always come to the conclusion that as many positive rants as I can rant, there's always so much negative stuff that I can talk about, and I'm just gonna say it, man. You know, a lot of people, you make it so easy for there to be negative rants, commentaries, and all type of shit. Because at the end of the day, the truth be told, you're a bunch of fucking retards. Go fuck yourself. You know, some people look at this and they say, well, I'm not a retard, so I'm not mad. I'm not going to jump off of your rant, Steve, and, you know, go on another channel. And good for you if you're not a retard, but so many people are just fucking retards, man. And that's really the conclusion to that. But, you know, what I wanted to rant on was a couple of things. First off, I'm sure everyone's seen this whole Will Smith shit. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. I got a couple things to say about that. First, I have to say, okay, I'll be honest. As a black man, I feel that that's not the type of image that I want to. I can't say we, because I really can't speak for everyone, but for myself, I don't want to perpetuate that image of a black person in the media, that we're just uncontrollably violent, and we just can't control our temper, and we always have to go to the physical to solve whatever issue. And in my opinion, it really was unwarranted, and Chris Rock did not deserve to get slapped. You know, I feel like that was not called for. I feel like there was not any real negative, malicious intent behind anything Chris Rock said. I'll admit, I feel like Will Smith is just in a bad situation. You know, I feel like the truth, if the truth could be told, like, Will Smith simply just is not the man that Jada could ever have. Like, he's just not that guy. You know, he can have as much money as he wants. He could be as attractive as he wants to be. You know, he could be as nice as he is. He could be all the positive stuff. Now, I don't know. Maybe there's stuff that I'm missing, because I don't want to really go there. But I'm going to go there. Okay, I'm going to go there. So, maybe Will Smith really is gay as fuck. And maybe Will Smith really is like, you know, super gay and has all this weird shit going on, and it's an open relationship. But I kind of, even if that's the case, I think there must be some type of genuine love there, because why would a man get so angry to smack a guy? Why would a man cry in front of a bunch of people? Because he's always fucking crying. He's like the new crying meme. You know, it's like, why would a man actually... The only thing that... And this is coming from me, being a man. If you're crying like that, and you're assaulting people physically and shit, you have to genuinely have feelings for a woman to do that. You're not going to just do that unless you're just... I mean, well, he is a good actor, so I can't even say that he's not a good actor, because that's exactly what he is. But I just don't know if I buy that, the fact that if I can buy into the idea that maybe he's just doing all this stuff for publicity, and it's all... I really don't... I don't know. To me, it seems like he's genuinely been hurt. He genuinely hangs on to her every word, and it's completely understandable. You know, it's understandable. Like, but the whole point is, you know, you can have feelings like that for a woman, but necessarily it doesn't mean that she is going to reciprocate those feelings to that intent, to that level, to that intensity. You know, it doesn't mean she's going to actually... You're not guaranteed that, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so... and it goes both ways. A woman's not guaranteed that a man is going to love her to the same degree. It doesn't always work that way. It doesn't matter that just because someone will say, "Well, man, Will Smith's like one of those 1 in a million dudes. Like he has looks. He has this money, status. He seems like a genuinely like really nice person, a fun person." That doesn't mean anything when you're coming up against a person who just genuinely, you just don't do it for them. Like you're just not the person that they want to invest their emotions in to that level like you do. You know what I mean? It's just not how it is. So with that being said, I feel like I had to say that because it's going to kind of tie into what I'm going to talk about. So, you know, I'm on YouTube, and you know, sometimes I'm curious, because me being a black man, and I'm just going to put it out there before anyone has any type of, like, confusion or any questions, because people are, like I said, people are retards, and they always ask dumbass questions, and always have a dumbass perspective on shit. So, someone will say, "Are you one of those black guys that, you generally like you generally like white women, you don't really like your own race?" Yeah, I'm that motherfucking guy. I generally like white women, and it's not for some dumb reasons either. It's just simply I find them physically more attractive on average the majority of the time. And someone will say, "Well, what's so attractive about them?" Well, first, it's mostly the phenotype. You know, skull structure, like facial structure. That's mostly where it fucking starts. Because I look at it like this, man. Your body's gonna look like what it looks like. Your body is... I'm actually more of a body than a face person, but I always look like... You can't have one without the other either, so 98% of the time, white women generally, and I say generally because there's exceptions sometimes, usually, I would say majority from the facial structure of a Caucasian general. There's so many different types of Caucasian, so I'm just lumping them all into one. If you get offended, whatever, fuck you. Generally, white women have what I would call their bone facial structure, the proportions of like nose ratio, lip ratio, cheekbones, brow ridge, skull, chin, jawline, all that shit. In my opinion, usually is proportioned and formatted in a way to where, I'm not saying that it's perfect, but I'm saying generally it tends to be perfect, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, it's what I find sexually attractive more than mostly any other thing. You know what I mean? And like I will say again, there's exceptions sometimes. Sometimes there's just exceptions. Like, it could be an Asian woman, it could be a Hispanic woman, it could be a black woman that for some reason I think they look better than certain white women, but that is very rare. So white women just happen to... I'm attracted to them more. Some black guys will tell you weird shit like, "Oh, it's because I don't want to argue with them." Like, you know, like as if every black woman is combative and always wants to argue. It doesn't. It's sometimes it is that. I'll admit it is that sometimes. But for me, no, it's just always been like, I'm just more physically attracted to white women Um, and that's kind of where it ends. You know what I mean? That's where it fucking ends. You know, it is what it is. So, would I say, oh well, okay, I'll even give you this. Sometimes I would rather have. This is gonna sound fucked up, but it's the truth. Sometimes I would rather have white women to have more black attributes, and I don't mean physical attributes. Body-wise, yes, I would. Classical, you know, everyone thinks black women are these like voluptuous, big titty, big ass and hips, curvy. They're not all. They don't all look like that, you know. But it's a common thing. And is it more prevalent in black women, especially if you go to places like in Africa per se? Yeah, it actually is. In from what I've seen, you know, my research, it is. But it's not always the case. But what I mean is, generally, you know, a black woman that is strong, combative, yes, has a violent side, isn't afraid to get physical, isn't afraid to speak their mind, is not afraid to even go against me or tell me exactly how she feels, or what's the word, prod at me in a negative way because she wants me to man up or measure up to a certain thing. I do like some of that to a degree, and if a white woman has that, that's a plus. If they're I say it with quotation marks, if they are a little bit more black in that regard, that's a good thing in my opinion. But what I'll also say, what I really want to get at in this video is what's going to make a lot of people mad. I'm just going to go into it. So, you know, I see all these crybaby black women videos, and don't get me wrong. Okay, I understand certain things. Like, I understand some black women say, well, most men don't want us. They're not attracted to us because either it's they don't like our looks and they don't like our attitude. They have all these preconceived notions, or this one woman said some shit like, I don't have pretty privilege and I'm a dark-skinned black woman and you have a general phenotype of a black woman, and I don't have that pretty privilege. Men just look at me like if I'm just there. They don't really pay me any mind. They just kind of look over me. Okay, now, I sympathize that sucks, okay, for anyone. And even no matter how attractive you are, you could be very attractive generally, but there could be someone you want, per se, and that person just is not into you. Just like the Will Smith shit. Like, Will Smith, 98% of men and many, like, how am I trying to say this? I was about to say, even some women that generally tend to like white men, a lot of times, if they were to see fucking Will Smith, you know, they would literally choose Will Smith over a general white man. You know, it's like, especially with all the money and the looks and it's like, so what I'm trying to say is, the thing is this, man, everyone at some point could want something and just couldn't have it. You know, it's like for instance, you know, if I could have $1 million, I could be way more attractive. I'll even go to the length to say maybe I'm not even black anymore. Let's say if I was some fucking white dude, gorgeous looking dude, bunch of money and shit, there could be this one woman that I want, and she just doesn't even, it doesn't move her. Matter of fact, let's just say hypothetically, she likes black guys. She doesn't even like white. She's just like, ew, man, get out of here, that shit. And I'm like, damn, I got no chance, right? So, you get what I'm saying, right? But what I really want to say about these black women, I'm sorry, black women, look, you're gonna have to hear this, okay? See, my mom was a black woman, obviously, okay? My gene pool comes from many black people. But look at this. One beef I have with black women, and black people in general, it's not just black women, but it's black people in general, but I'm gonna say, I'm speaking on black women, because I just recently have been seeing a lot of these types of videos on YouTube, and I'm like, listening to what these black women are saying, because I'm trying to, like, understand, like, what are they really trying to get at here, right? I'm gonna say this, man. One thing I cannot stand about you black women, right? This is gonna surprise you, but look here. All that Christian shit, like, what is this disgusting history of us black people being so enthralled with fucking Christianity, right? Like, what is this whole connection? What is your sick, twisted fucking obsession with fucking Christianity? With some preacher, some pastor, some church, some fucking gospel, some fucking... What the fuck is your twisted connection, I have to say, with this Christian God, this Christian, Judeo-Christian nonsense that you are just in love with, that you seem to be in love with, right? Now, I was listening to my Satanic Bible audio yesterday, right? And one of the things that they said was, I'm paraphrasing this because I don't know really word for word by heart, but basically they kind of said, "Cursed are the lambs of God, for they will be bled whiter than snow." And I love hearing that because I'm thinking, like, I really resonate with that. Like, I'm like, if you want to serve this false fucking God that you think is real, that you think is so personal with you, you think this God works in your life and actually cares about you and even knows you exist, if you think that God exists, number one, I'm going to say, I consider myself a Satanist. I'm going to say I think you're very mistaken. Because, first off, whatever God is not what you believe it is. God is not a personal being like that does personal dealings with people on that level like that. That is not the God that you think exists, number one. And number two, you are cursed, motherfucker. I'm just gonna have to say it. You are fucking cursed. Someone's probably gonna get mad. I don't know if this video could get taken down or whatever, but look here, motherfucker. Your black ass is cursed. And you're hearing this from a black man's mouth. First off, you're a traitor to your fucking race in my book, that you're even a fucking Christian. You're a traitor to your race, white or black, whatever the fuck you are, in my opinion. You will always be a traitor to the humanity that you deal with that shit, but you're a traitor to your race, and then you're insulting your fucking race, because you gotta understand, Christianity was used to control black people for many years. It wasn't solely used for that, but it was very widely used for just that purpose. And then you want to be a modern black person with more opportunities than any ancestor ever had, and you want to basically sell out to that shit? Fuck you, fuck your black kids, fuck your fucking whatever you value, fuck your desires, fuck your needs, your wants, and your emotions, and your well-being, and be fucking cursed. Because, first off, I'm not really too into black women anyway. But I'm going to tell you this. Black women that don't fuck with all that Christian shit, I respect them much more. And my own mom is a fucking Christian, and she's into that shit. Now, do I love my mom? Do I respect her? Yes. Do I talk to her like she's like she's an equal and treat her like she is my mom and my elder? Yes, I do. Especially at this point in time in my life. Like, I'm mature, very mature, and I don't disrespect my mom because of that shit. But internally, like, do you know how I see Christianity? How I see black women serving a fucking false god, in my opinion, bringing a lot of shit into their life that they really don't want to, because I'm going to tell you this, man. Fuck what you heard. Fuck what you believe. The other spirits are real. Okay, you want to talk about, like, reality? You can insult. I'm just telling you, you don't know, when you talk to people, I always say this, you don't know maybe who you're talking to. You don't know who they are or what they have with them. It's not no funny games when you think you're going to go into a fucking church. Now, you may not even be pinpointed or looked at. But I'm going to tell you this, though. This dark shit is real, okay? You think, oh, the demonic. Yes, the demonic is real, okay? And that's even dumb for me to use the word demonic, but I just have to say it so people can kind of understand. But I'm going to tell you this, look. All that Christian shit is an insult already. It's like you're already starting off wrong. So, in my opinion, bitch, you deserve whatever the pain you get. You deserve whatever the fuck negative you get. Because you're fucking around with bullshit, and I don't appreciate it. And I sure as hell know that certain spirits, they do not appreciate that fucking bullshit. They do not appreciate that shit. They're not going for it. And like I said, you get the fuck what you deserve, motherfucker. You want to play fucking games and think shit is like la-di-da, you want to pray to this god and get so enthralled with some shit like that? Go right ahead and be single, die single, you know, have pains in your life, you know, pray until you fucking drop, do whatever the fuck you want to do, black woman. But guess what, motherfucker? Guess what? Me? I look at it like you deserve whatever the fuck you get. When you talk all that Jesus shit and all that Christian shit, my face drops. It's like my frown comes on. I'm like, oh, here we go. Now, are there some very, very successful, seemingly, because I don't even know how to explain it, but I have seen some very wealthy, very married, very happy black women. And don't get me wrong, I love to see black wealth, okay? I love to see black people that own things, that have businesses, that have wealth, that have genuine love in their family, that have kids, you know what I mean? That have, like, husbands, wives, that have... I love to see that. I love to see when black people are successful. I love seeing that. But what I cannot stand is the Christianity aspect. You know, it's like... And I'm thinking... Well, hey, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to hate on him. Like, it's like, hey, you made it. You're a proud Christian. Okay. All right. Whatever. I just can't, you know, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Nothing. You know, so fine, have it. But I'll say this. When I see a black woman pained and struggling and hurting and going through things, and then she comes out with some shit like, oh, she's a Christian. And there's levels, but I mean, like, when she really believes that, and she's, you know, saying she's believing God for this and believing that, man, in my back of my head, it's like you just turn a nasty switch on in my head. Like, you turn that I don't give a fuck, bitch, you deserve what you get switch is what you fucking turn on in my head. So, and I'm gonna tell you this: the only thing that makes me think a little bit otherwise is if, like, I am attracted to that bitch. Like, if you're some chick that, like, you're just attractive, like, it's kind of hard for me to wish such pain on you or suffering on you. You know what I mean? It kind of fucks with me a little bit, and it's hard for me to. Now, I will still say, I with a heavy heart though, I will still say, like, hey, you kind of, in my eyes, you are cursed. You're cursed. Like I said, you call yourself a lamb of God, child of God. Well, to me, you are fucking cursed. But on the flip side, for you to be a very attractive woman in suffering that, to me, it kind of hurts, because I'm like, you actually deserve better for yourself. Like, you shouldn't be fucking with that. It's kind of like when you see a beautiful woman abusing drugs, and you're like, or with some man or something, and you're like, you kind of, if it was someone else, then I could kind of just not be hurt by that, but I'm hurt because, it's hard to see you being a beautiful thing destroying your fucking self. It's kind of hard to see something like that destroyed. So, just saying. But I also have to say, on a lighter note, get this, it is your life, though. And I'm not going to disrespect you either. That's the thing. This is a rant. I'm not going to talk to you like this. I'm not going to tell you to speak like that, because that's disrespectful, But I'm just voicing my opinion, okay? So, the thing is this. It's kind of like, hey, man, if I wanted to stick my hand in the boiling water or stick my hand in a pile of hot coals, that's some dumb shit. But it's my choice to do that if I do. So, it's kind of like me watching someone do that in my mind, but it doesn't even mean that, because it doesn't mean that you are truly cursed and your life is going to be... It doesn't always mean that. Sometimes it actually does. That's the scary thing. Sometimes it does. And you're not running from that shit either. You're not going to pray your way out of there. There's no God in heaven, or no, there's no savior that's going to save you from that type of wrath. Some people, that's just the way it is. If you've basically cursed yourself. It's like you cut off a possible lifeline to some other force, but because of your behavior and your belief system, your dogma, and your fear, you have created a barrier between the very thing that would empower you, that would,
that would favor you, but you cut yourself off. So enough about the black woman, and now let's just talk about the black race, period. Okay, so, like I said, I'll say it again. All of you black motherfuckers, you have fucked yourself aligning yourself with Christianity and with false ideals and Christian God and I'll put it like this. To me, you are a fucking disgrace. You are a disgrace, and you deserve every lashing, every fucking chain and shackle you've been put in. If you really want to fuck with that shit, in my opinion, you deserve the shit that you deserve what you get, motherfucker. Okay, that's how I see it. You deserve what you get. All the poverty, all the shit that you, because you want to think, right? I'll put it like this. You want to think in this world, in this progressively changing world that is Satan's domain. You want to think that you can actually, and I proudly say it, it's not like a bad thing, it's a good thing. You want to think that in this fucking world, in this demonic world, this satanic world, this dark world, you really want to believe that you have the luxury. You think, oh, I'm gonna, you think you're gonna be Christian. You think your God is gonna save you. You think there's gonna be a rapture or some shit. You think that your Jesus is gonna come. You think all type of crazy shit. But I'm gonna tell you this here, right? I'm gonna tell you this right here. It's a load of horse shit, man. You bought into the horse shit, and you're a disgrace. It's disgraceful that you actually fucking buy into that shit. You build churches when you could be building other type of shit. You have all these tithes and offerings coming at your ass, and you're investing it in that little building. In not little building, a lot of times big building, but you're putting all this energy that could be energy you could be putting into other shit, man. Like shit, like I don't know, you might be an artist or something. Maybe you should be like creating things, but you're putting all your energy into that shit, and all you're doing, in my opinion, is you're just making us as a race, as blacks, Africans, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you're just making us as a race weaker, a more shamed, weaker class of people that already has been beat up enough, not even just by other people, but our own, our own fault, a lot of it. We are already all fucked up already, and then here you go, you don't even want to ride the evolutionary wave. You don't want to ride that wave. You want to put yourself in another type of bondage, and into another type of bondage. You just want to perpetuate the cycle of fucking bondage. That's what you want to do. And you don't even know it. You don't think that, but that's what you're doing. You want to keep the bondage going. Okay. So, you want to keep the bondage going. You don't want to free yourself, at least even through that type of spirituality. So you don't want to take the dark route. You don't want to believe in other things that are not Christian, right? Oh, wow. Okay. So, I hate to be cliche, but I'm going to have to be cliche. You want the fucking slave owners, white man religion. Oh, so you want that. Okay, that's what you want. Alright. So you want a hodgepodge of perverted stories and fake things fucking thrown together in a mix called Christianity, and you want to believe it and follow it when your black ass is already fucked up already. It's like you're already fucked up. You're pushing a fucking boulder up a hill already. So then you want to make it worse for yourself. Well, at that point, then you're just a dumb motherfucker and you're hopeless and fuck. You're not fit for evolution. You're not. It skipped you. You're just not made for it. So at that point, then you're just fucked. Have fun being fucked. So now I don't know how you want to take that, but I really don't care. Okay? I don't give a fuck. The point I'm trying to make is that you need to start thinking, and I'm just going to leave it at this because, it's more relevant. Because this video actually is made for black people right now. Okay? I'm saying this because I'm not also a black person, but I'm a fucking Satanist. So, it's painful for me to watch. A lot of this stupid shit I see is just it's painful. It's really painful for me to just watch this shit. So, I have to say that, hey, if you're a black person, you can believe what you want. You're free to be a Christian, be whatever you want. That's just the honest truth. Like you can be what you want to be. But from my perspective, what I'm trying to say, in the hopes that even 3 people could fucking listen to this, you want to actually maybe try to change something in your life, maybe change something in your community, maybe try to start a trend that God only knows in the future. That's funny, you know. It's ironic. God, the word God, but you know, in the future, do you ever sit there and just have visions of your people's success? Like, so sometimes I do. I sit there and I just envision, like, you know, imagine like these black people, you know, owning things, businesses, limos, wads of, you know, knots and wads of money in their pockets being thrown around, laughing, you know, like, which some black people are that rich, you know. But you know, I just look at that like a different age, you know, like even you know, from my perspective, a satanic age where it's like, you know, it's not like, oh, those weird Satanists. No, it's just we're just Satanists, you know. It's not weird, you know. You know, like when you have little visions like that in your mind and daydream, you know, you come to the realization that, like, over time, systemically, you can set yourself up for more success. And it just so happens that me personally, as a person, I believe in finding empowerment and success and actual real power in other things other than some hooping and hollering, hand clapping, fucking black Christian fucking church. Okay? So, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's what this rant is, okay? And I'm very angry. I'm angry because it's bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. And I'm going to put it like this. I'm kind of glad that just me as a person generally, black women have never been like my thing. They've never been really like my, what do you call it? Like my target, like sexually, or, you know, like I never been like the type of guy where I think like, okay, I probably envision myself marrying a black woman, or so. No, it's not really my, but the thing is this is I do care, you know what I mean? It's like I see all these videos and I see like black women complaining about this, black women complaining about that, black men complaining about this, black men complaining about that. But I see more so black women videos about black women complaining about things. I'm thinking like, oh, well, first off, before you start complaining about like, you can't find this, all the black men are taken up by other races or white men, all this, all that, right? Before you start complaining about that, why don't you like try not completely fucking cursing yourself and cursing us as a race in general? Like, why do you, you know? So it's like, to me, it's like the elephant in the room, but I feel like I'm the only one that considers that an elephant in the room. Like, so my first question to you is why the fuck are you so Christian? Like, why do you believe those things? That nonsense. Like, what makes your brain believe those things? Why are you putting your faith in that? Why are you wasting your time with that? So, you know, because you could be, because you also have to notice this, right? If white people already have so much over us, I say it with quotation marks because it's kind of murky. If they already have so much over us already, why do you just want to give them other things too? It's like, hey, you want to make them better at other things, like that actually really matter? So it's like, okay, so they already have this over you. They already have this. You don't really have a fighting chance, but you want to make it worse on yourself. Okay, I see. I get it. So you're really dumber than I thought you were. Alright, I see what this is. This is a serious problem that needs to be addressed. Okay, and this problem has solutions, but these are solutions that you have to put into action. Okay, it's not just going to happen because it's not just going to happen. You have to change things in put it into action. So you know, I look at it like this, right? Stop going to that fucking church, man. Get up one morning. I did this myself personally one day. I actually did this one day. I got up one morning. I could hear the birds outside. I thought to myself, like, man, I already know I don't want to go to this fucking church. I don't want to get up and go to this fucking church. I want to get up, take a shower, and then see what I can get out of this day. But I don't want to get up and go to this fucking bullshit, this mind-numbing cesspool of just nonsense. Like, there's really nothing there. It's like, I used to literally sit there and wonder, like, what is this emotional connection that these people actually have? Like, what is this? Because it's not real. Because it can't be real. It's like, you can have emotions based on real problems. You can have emotions based on beliefs. But there's a difference between a belief and a real thing. Maybe you missed it. If you missed it, then whatever. Fine, you fucking missed it. I don't care. You know, but I looked at myself and said, you know what? Fuck that. I was like, I'm not going to that fucking church. I'm gonna go to the fucking, the park cemetery. I'm gonna go to the park cemetery because it's the closest thing to woods where I live, and it's the most thick, wooded area. It's the most, like, overgrown, thick area that you can get into. Closest I could walk to is that cemetery. So I went there, right? And, you know, I would often say to myself, like, man, if I knew that this is what it's like to not be here, I would never go back to that. Like, fuck it. But I'll say it again, you know, beliefs are different than real things and facts. My belief system said that would teach me, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie from the devil. Oh, you know where you're supposed to be. This is where the word of God is being preached. You're supposed to be here. You can't be there. You know, matter of fact, you know that there's going to be a consequence for you even going there and not being here. You know, how are you supposed to get your word when you're over there in some park cemetery alone? Like, you're supposed to be here. And you're supposed to be with, you know, your brothers and sisters in Christ. And you, man, fuck all that. All that shit is bullshit. You're wasting your fucking time. And not only you're wasting your time, but you're paying, if you're dumb enough, you're paying tithes, offerings, giving money out of your pocket to some motherfucker who doesn't even know his own ass from his elbow. He doesn't know because he believes the shit he preaches, or she, or whatever, both. So they don't fucking know. So it's just a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, and 98% of the time, sadly, it's a bunch of dumb black motherfuckers. So it's all fucked. All around. It is all around fucked. With no lube. So, look here. I said what I said. I meant what the fuck I said. This is probably a rant that my mom couldn't watch. Nor should she watch it, because she's already fucking too far gone. I don't try to reach people like that. She's already gone. She believes what she believes. If she ever changes, then that's good. But I'm not expecting it. And that's fine. You know what I mean? I've had relatives that I love dearly that have died hardcore Christians. They have literally died and passed on in that state. That's fine. There's no hell nor heaven that people go to. So, you know, fuck it. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, man. I'm still alive. You know, I'm not dead. So, at least I have a chance to change certain things and create things in life possibly now, here and now, you know? So, look here, man. You heard what the fuck I said. You heard this rant. I shouldn't have to say anything else. You can twist my words if you want. You can say whatever you want to say, but look here. There might be someone watching this that knows what I said, and deep down they know it was right. So, you know, it's been fun. Like, comment, and sub. I appreciate every sub, every comment, every like, whatever. You know, this is your host, Steve from the back. This has been another buck wild and crazy rant. But I said this in all seriousness. You know, this is stuff that, like, This is serious stuff. This is stuff that I believe and that many people do believe, and some people won't even say it. It's like they don't have the balls to just say the truth. Like they don't even have the balls to say why they don't like a certain race or certain, not like, but I mean why they're not attracted to. You know, they can't tell a girl like, hey, I'm not attracted to you because to me your face looks like fucking Pepe the Frog, right? They just don't want to say that, right? So they'll come up with some other bullshit, or vice versa. They'll say, hey, you don't look like Pepe the Frog enough, so that's why that's why I don't like you, because I like bitches that look like Pepe. You know, it's like people are just full of shit. That's what I mean. People act like retards. You know, so like I said, you know, move in a progressive direction. Like move in an evolutionary direction. Don't backpedal or don't keep yourself in weird bondages that are Christian and in tradition. Don't do that to yourself. Get on the ball, do what all these so-called white people do, and go and venture into other types of spirituality, and don't go and venture into some woo-woo, what's it called? I'm sitting on a cloud fucking type of religion. You know, that's just gonna tell you bullshit, okay? When you want to talk about, you know, satanic ritual, satanic principles, you know, goetic magic, things of that nature, dark demonic things, you know, Haitian voodoo, when you get into that shit, man. Someone will say, "What do you mean? That just sounds so broad and just so." Look, motherfucker, I'm telling you this because I know some things, and I'm trying to steer you in the right direction. I'm trying to steer you towards success, is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you the truth that, like, no one would just blatantly just tell you in a sort of nonchalant, matter-of-fact way. But I'm telling you that. But you just probably won't believe it. That's the thing. You tell someone the truth, you tell someone something just flat out, no bullshit, and they just sit there and don't want to believe it or just don't believe it. So hopefully some people are not that person. So look here. I didn't say the things I said to hurt anyone's feelings or to make some black woman cry or to make some person cry or whatever. I didn't say it to do that. Well, that's good if it does that, because I mean, at least you felt something and you weren't a complete fucking moron and weren't a complete retard that just let it go out of your into one ear and out the other. Or at least, you know, you actually heard it. You're not so numb that you just didn't even hear. So this is the rant, man. This is the rant. This rant is about it's about black women, black people, people enslaving themselves with fucking dumb religions, and what you need to fucking do. Not what you want to do. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you. I'm fucking telling you what the fuck you need to do. And there it is. Have a nice day.
Round 2. Fight.
At ease, loser.